Welcome back to Alma, Missouri. So we're still in August. This is early afternoon. We're just finishing up here baling one of our fields. We'll put these bales, we'll wrap these bales and convert them to silage. Yeah, last episode, one of the many things we were doing was we had an AI worker mow this and windrow this and then do most of the baling. And then I'm just taking over here at the end to conserve money, doing my normal wonderful job backing up over the bales and general messing things up. But we'll get it done. We're almost finished. Yeah, I think this might be about it, aside from a few little scraps. So after we're done here, we'll go ahead and go get the wrapper and then wrap these. We're saving up for the combine. So we took a couple of contracts to harvest sorghum. We don't have a combine. We don't have a header. We don't have a trailer for the header. So we're doing some contracts here. One of which is the plowing on field 38. That's you can see up there is 88% done. So while that's going on, we're taking care of this field. We'll go ahead and, like I said, move on and do the wrapping here shortly. It looks like the contract is done. I'm sure it still has, we still have another midland or so to go on it. So I'm going to let them continue for a little bit while we continue to work on this. Because I do want to completely plow that. Maybe not the odds and ends, but I want to at least let the Courseplay course complete. So we'll wait until we get the finished alert down at the bottom. All right, we're going to let the AI worker take over here. Because the plow is now finished. This guy next to the stone picker, I think. Got a tree coming through here. That helps. Our supplies are getting low. All right, so you can go ahead and do that. We can go ahead and collect this contract. Excellent. We will double check here, make sure nothing else came up. All veggies, spinach and peas. Okay. So let's check and see what came up in the shop, in the sale. Nothing. We got none. All right, so yeah, no
no trailers, no header, no combine. All right, so this is the only guy we can afford, right? There's not anything cheap down here. Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and buy him. Let's go ahead and go with the Continentals. Is there anything that gives us a different wheel setup? No. All right, so we'll go ahead and buy that. And then we want to go ahead and get the official header, design color. I mean, I think we want it to match. Let's go ahead and just get that. And let's go and get the trailer as well. Because I have a feeling we're going to have trouble squeezing through the trees in our shortcuts. Oh boy. Isn't that nice? Take a look around. Not exactly sure. Oh, well, I got it the right direction at least. Not sure what the best way is to get this all set up here. Not a lot of room. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hold up here for a second. Alright, so this guy's done. I'm going to go ahead and send him back to the yard. And then we'll bring the white out here to collect these bales. Alright, I don't think I want to have this put this back more over here. Hopefully this will be off the path. Sorry about the camera. Yeah, I think that'll be okay there. Now, before I get too far along here, we are going to need a trailer. I have no idea what the capacity of this is, but I don't think it's a lot. I'm guessing it's maybe 10,000 liters if I'm lucky. Let's take a quick look. Oh, that's nice. We're going to need a trailer of some sort, so let's take a look and see what we've got here under trailers. Something with around 10,000. These are a little too pricey, huh? Ah, here we go. This Brantner 26,000, slightly more than we have. We don't have those. Don't do us any good. This one's 31. This one's 46. Yeah, I think this Brantner is the best option. Is this? It's a 27,000 with the cover. No way I can make it cheaper. Okay. And this holds 19. So the one we've got right now is this guy. This holds... Let's look at it in the garage so we don't make a mistake here. This is configured for 4,000. I mean, we're going to make a million trips with this because this won't even allow us to completely empty the combine. Now, it is a short trip. So this might be okay. So I could upgrade this to get 8,000, right? This is configured for 4,000 right now. Is that what we said? Yeah, for 4,000. So let's double this up. And that'll give us almost a full combine load if it is 10,000, which I'm not sure it is. But I'm just guessing here. So yeah, let's change the configuration on this. And add, oh yeah, for 3,000. Much better, yeah. Okay, that'll work. Oh. Is I can use AutoDrive to go do the whoa, can't see. I can use AutoDrive to is this a field we're working in? I think it is. We definitely have a contract on it. Is it the one we're starting with? I think it must be. Yeah, there's the combine down there. Alright, I'm going to hang out right here. Alright, so it's got the beat job and on field work. Why is it doing field work instead of, there we go, fail collect 00 target position here and only the wrapped start job. Okay, so we'll let him work on gathering these while we go ahead and start here. And yeah, the JCB is ready to unload us. I mean, it's not ready to unload us, but it's nearby. And then yeah, once we get going, we'll go ahead and figure out if we want to set up an auto drive. I think I've already done those the destination over over there. Let's clean up here and let's get ourselves so we can see a little better. And I think on this map you can put down a swath with soy, but not with sorghum. So pretty sure if I see, what is that? Is that? Let me check real quick. Enable straw swath is period. Does not seem to be doing anything. Yeah, not available for this crop type. Okay, that's what I thought, so that is good. And when this hits 10%, we'll know how much it holds. 8,000. Okay, excellent. So we have the perfect size trailer for this. Oh, does it feel nice to do some real farming? So sick of mowing. Now these contracts don't pay big, but hopefully there'll be a lot of leftover crop or grain when we're done, and then we can store that until it's at its max price, and then sell it for a tidy bit of profit. I thought when we had no money last night, there was absolutely no chance that we'd be harvesting today. Proud owners of the smallest, junkiest combine in the game, but still a giant step forward for us. And we got money in the bank. It's going to be a bit difficult to see where we've been and where we haven't. I thought it would be real easy with this texture, but it really does not. I don't know, it might be okay. My old eyes might be up to the task. Ready? Okay, so do we have, let's double check and make sure we know what we're doing here. So looking at the contract, we're delivering both of these to the grain mill. I don't think I did a grain mill target. I definitely didn't because I would see it. I'm going to have him drive to the shop. And then once he's there, we can do the additional course. And in the meantime, assume he's full. Yes, indeed. Do the same as last time and store these here. Sure, it's an easy way to get this just to continue. Okay, only wrap, start job. He's almost here. Alright, so we want to go over here. Looks like we've got, what do we got here? Just coming the other way. Looks like we didn't do anything with this. Gonna do a little weird stuff here. Alright, so now we've got a one-way coming in this way. I'm going to go ahead and make this, I think, a two-way. Let's see, how far can we see here? So, it comes in over here. A little weird, but we can do it this way, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to make this a two-way, just so we can get down here. It means he's going to come in, loop around, but that's fine. We can optimize this later. And then I think we'd want to do kind of this way, maybe. Thinking ahead to when we will eventually have larger trucks and trailers. Take a look here, see how far we are past the trigger. Maybe a little further. There we go. That's pretty far. Move that one a little closer. All right, and then we'll call this, this is grain mill, right? And they don't give us a lot of room here to turn around, do they? Yeah, no way we're going to make that with the truck. But we'll figure that out when we got one. All right. Stop recording in case we come at this from the other direction. Let's go ahead and put in... Nope, not what I want to do. Put in a little. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and do, we'll test this by doing a deliver. So I want to switch this to deliver, and we want to use the grain mill. Double checking on the map that this is in fact where we're supposed to be delivering this. You can do it. Does not like this turn. That last point there is pretty sharp. Oh no, I want to see it. I want to see it. Perfect. 10% transported. All right, and then he'll pull forward to the grain mill. For now, I'm just going to leave him here. We'll do the destination before we head off next time. All right, and then he's ready to unload again. When we get a bale shed, we can do just a pick up and deliver auto drive, and we won't have to keep doing this where we stop and unload the bales. And we'll put them straight into a bale shed, and then it can be 100% automated without any intervention. But that is for another day when we have more money.
right, so we'll go ahead and drive down here to the other side of the field. I'll set up a destination to this field. Then we can send the JCB to the grain mill and have it return so that we can focus on driving the combine.
Not a lot of room to turn around, but it's fine. We'll tweak this as we go. So let's go ahead and create a destination. Teardrop there. Then it won't let us do this. Nope, does not like those. Again, these are horrible, but they'll work for now. Okay, so now we want to do, I'm going to change this to a pickup and deliver, and the pickup is going to be here at field 27, and the deliver is going to be at the grain mill. And we're doing this with sorghum. And when it comes back to field 27, I'm just going to stop it. But this way we won't have to watch it while it goes and does its thing. And you, sir, are done. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and get this unloaded, and then we can concentrate on our sorghum. What is that one doing? It's rotating around, huh? Alright, whatever, dude. He's just getting ready to unload. Great. Should have to do is when I get over here, just go ahead and engage, and it'll take over. And it's driving to the grain mill, and then it'll come back when it's done. All right, perfect. thing I'm a little worried about is it going to try to pay me for the excess grain, or is it going to credit it to the next contract? I think it will credit it to the next contract, but I know that they changed the way this worked in 25 at one point. But I think they just make sure it goes to the contract you started first, and then it applies to subsequent contracts. I don't want to get paid at this low rate. I want to put them in storage. Oh, 53%. 58% of the way done with the field, and only 53% of the grain's been delivered. Obviously, we got some in the hopper, but that's making me a little bit nervous. This combine might be slow, but at least it's also very, very narrow working with. I guess the contract percentage is not just the percent of the field done, but also the percentage of the grain in, maybe. Let's check this out. So this is the one we're working right here. So we've delivered 40,000 and we still have 31,700 liters to go. 62% of the field is worked. 62.8. Yeah, so that is taking into consideration the delivery as well. So I think we're okay. I think on the next field, I'm going to go ahead and set it up for a totally automated harvest, just for something different. That would probably be a good thing if you're not familiar with using Courseplay and Autodrive to fully automate the harvest of a field, including taking the crop to the selling point. Then that might be something you're interested in. So stay tuned. So we have under 16,000. So this one we definitely need to take in. Although I don't know if that's accurate in terms of what we actually need to complete the contract. Go ahead and deliver this one and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and send him to deliver this, and we'll see what happens with a little bit of extra grain. that I think it's slightly more than what we're supposed to deliver. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully all this that we're picking up here now is gonna be ours to keep. It paid me for the excess. All right, so that's what we want to avoid. I mean, $600 is nice, but it would be $1,200 if I stored it to in December or whenever the peak price is. I was hoping it would apply it to the second contract, but because we haven't started it yet, it's not going to. All right, so now we know. This one then, 31, is right on the other side of the tracks. And then let's take a look. See if we got... I was hoping for that one last contract, but it has not come up. It might be a month late. Yeah, we can cross over the tracks right here, I think. At the top of this hill. I'm just scouting with this vehicle. think that's all correct. The last, this last leg is not necessary for what we're, oh, no. Oh, jeez. The last leg is not necessary, but I just thought since we were making that road, we might as well. We may end up making this a side road if we don't want to use this primarily. I don't know that there's really any disadvantage of this over the other one we have on the other side of the tracks, but we'll wait and see. All right, so what we talked about doing was going ahead and doing this field with full automation. I'm going to check the sale real quick before I forget. It's been a while. This is that same tractor I think we saw earlier. 230 horsepower, yeah. I think it's the same one. All right, so when we have Courseplay and Autodrive do a field like this, what I usually go ahead and do is I usually go ahead and, oh, we should have access, right? This is the right field. I don't know why you get that message sometime. Okay, so cut in a bit here so that it can recognize where we are. And then we'll go ahead and bring up the Courseplay. And as usual, we'll want to set a course here. All right, so come into here. We'll go into our field work settings. 6 meter width is taken from the header. So I'll give you one tool. We might give ourselves a little extra margin around the outside just to make sure we don't miss anything. We want to do at least 2 headlands the way we did on the other field. With a smaller header, I might say let's go ahead and do 3. The narrow field is deactivated. We want to start, unlike when we do things like cultivating or plowing, we do want to actually start on the headlands. Because we want to go around and we want to make sure that the headland direction is clockwise because we want the pipe to be on the outside. We don't, with this field, it's got rounded corners, so we don't want to activate the sharpened headland corners. If we had a field with very square corners, this would be worth it to make sure we weren't leaving lots of crop unharvested. So we'll deactivate that. We don't need to worry about these. Headland overlap is defaulting to 7%. Let's go ahead and increase that to 10% to make sure we don't miss anything on the tighter corners, or at least minimize what we miss. In the field center, up and down just means, you know, traditional rows. For harvesting, what we probably want to do is use lands. This is where the combine will cut through sort of like the middle of a section, and then it'll go so that it'll go around that central row, keeping the pipe on what it's already harvested. That reduces the chance that your pipe is going to be facing the crop and the harvester will have to back out and leave room. So this is better. 6 rows per land is usually okay, but since this is so narrow, I'm going to actually increase that to 8. And then the center direction being counterclockwise, I think is also correct. That should leave the pipe on the inside. Yeah, that's correct. I think that's correct. We'll take a look at the pipe when we leave the screen. All right, and then we don't need to worry about the rest. So let's go ahead and generate. All right, and yeah, this looks okay. The reason I pulled out on the field is when you do that, it goes ahead and puts the starting point of the action of the operation right where your combine is. So it's not going to drive through the crop to try to get to where the course starts. All right, and then we can go ahead and hit start job, and it is going to go ahead. You see the pipe comes out just because it detected that it was close to a trailer. But now we will go ahead and get rid of this. But yeah, the AI worker is going to go ahead and start harvesting, and then when he or she is full, probably around 80%, the beacon, if there is one, will start to flash, and then the we'll know to unload her. Now, I said we were going to do this fully automated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and set up the JCB to automatically unload when it's full, and then take the grain to the selling point. I think that what works best is if we actually have a point that's on the field itself for the chaser bin or you know, whatever you're using, you know, the auger bin, or in this case just this tractor with a trailer, to go ahead and wait on the field, just because it minimizes the chances of confusion. And we may still need to do some additional things to have this operate the way we would like it. But let me go ahead and turn back on the lines here. And we're going to make another one right past field 31 here. I'm going to record another little bit of a path. And I'm going to have this reconnect here to this turnaround. All right. And then the way I want to have this set up, let's stop recording. We're going to tell this that what we want it to do is we want to put this in this combine mode. And the place we're going to come to collect is going to be field 31 weight. And the place we're going to dump is the grain mill. Yeah, I think this is fine for now. We'll probably change this maybe halfway through to be grain silo south or whatever it is. All right, so the combine is ready to unload. So if I go ahead and start this, it's going to give us this message that no harvester has the same target. So what we need to do to have this actually work the way we want it to is switch to the combine, and we want to have it using the same destination as the waiting point for the tractor. And you know, before I selected this, it had the same message here that there was no vehicle with the same code. Now, what should have happened is this guy, like an idiot, is cutting through the grain. We'll have to check the settings. Stuff like this frequently happens at the very beginning when we don't have the field opened up yet in terms of a place for it to drive. But yeah, this is not what he should be doing. He should be trying to go around the outskirt of the field where there's already a path cut. But let's see how he does lining up. All right, that part was real good. So that was all automatic. And what he's probably going to say here when he's done is that there's no way to get to the destination, because you can see that what he's pointing at right here is just a little segment of AutoDrive network that came with the map, and it doesn't lead to his destination. So we'll see here when he's full. All right, he's going to back up to get out of the way of the combine. Then once he's clear, the combine will go ahead and restart and pick up right where he left off. And now this guy, once the combine's clear, he's going to try to navigate to his destination. And I think he'll give us a message that he can't do anything. Oh, he's going to try something. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's going back. All right, yeah. He's just navigating back to the point where he entered the field. So we must be set to probably default. So he's going back to the starting point, driving through the crop like an idiot. And then when he gets here, he gets right back to the starting point. Now he'll try to navigate. And if we did our course right, he should be able to successfully do that. Very tight turn for him here. All right, so he'll go ahead and take this and drop it off while the combine keeps working. And then there'll be some additional wrinkles, but I think this is a good start. While he's driving, let's check his settings. So it is set to avoid fruit. Let's restrict Pathfinder to field. Unloader to field. Like I said, this is a good start. All right, so the plan here is that, you know, we'll get two of the headlands in. Now the beacons are on here because they're above 80%. Okay, and the driver, okay, that's the white. Where's our, okay, they're on the way back. See, they'll cross over here. And then down and in. Now, I am interested in taking a look. Are there settings here in Courseplay about driving? Avoid driving in fruit is activated. All right, so that should be, and from here, that it seems like both systems are set to avoid driving in the fruit or the crops. I definitely don't want to turn that on. Let's see how he's doing now. Oh, okay. He's doing better here. So he did not cut straight through. He's going around. Marvelous. 'Cause, 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 'c And since we got the first headland done, the AI driver of the combine did not need to cut space. It knew that there was enough room for the JCB to unload it while staying on the field. So it just stopped and did not cut over to the side the way it did on the first headland. So great. So the JCB should back up here once it's full. Wait for the combine to clean the area, and then it'll head back to the entry point. Now it may have to drive in the fruit to get back. We'll see. And he didn't even have to back up because the combine was able to just proceed without. So he's driving in a bit, a lot. Even if we own this field, the AI workers won't do any damage driving through the crop. So, but yeah, aesthetically, it's much better if they do what they're told and actually avoid it. Now, he's going this way, so just going to loop around here. It looks like it takes him about the same amount of time to do a round trip to the grain mill as it takes the combine to make one trip around. I do not know what causes that. That's very annoying when that occurs. Just when it's about ready. I think it may have something to do with the collision. But now he's going to hang back until we're completely full. So instead of unloading on the go, we're going to have to stop and wait for him to get here. Because he's so far back, we're losing valuable time here. Okay, we can go ahead and collect this. I'm curious if we collect this, will it give us that same field with a cultivating contract? So this one is complete though, so we can go ahead and collect it. We did not have any. I'm still keeping an eye on that last contract. All right, so it gave us a stone picking contract for down here. I think I'm going to pass on that. Okay, so it looks like it's going to start the lands now. So this is where it's going to cut through kind of the middle of the field. And then it's going to start looping around to keep the pipe over area where it's already harvested. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully it can make it all the way across and before it's full. I mean, it's no problem if it can't. It'll just move over to the side a little bit to give the trailer, to give the chaser room to come in and unload. Not ideal. But at least he's not parking on the crop. See how this does now. He'll turn around. Try to come up next to it. Really does not care about where he drives. That's annoying. So probably the next thing to try would be to go ahead and put an auto drive loop all the way around, and then have him exit closest and see if he does better. As you can see here, it's now going to do this row over here, and again keeping that pipe over the area that has already been harvested. So ideally, the tractor that unloads him will be driving where the crop's already been harvested. So that's the advantage of lands over just doing regular up and downs. And the more rows you have in each land, the less efficient it is, just because the combine's going to have to drive further as the rows get further apart as it progresses towards the end of that land. Usually for a large harvester, I do about 6, and then for small ones like this, you can increase it a bit. We did 8 on this one. So dumb. I'm thinking about going ahead and just switching this to empty at that grain silo instead of the grain mill, and then at the end we can bring all the food over. All the sorghum over from the train station silo. So next time he dumps, he's going to dump over at the Grain West silo unload, which is where the train station is, right over here to our right. We can store our grain there temporarily because we don't have our own silo. But we'll store it there, and then we'll just do enough to finish off the contract. But I don't want to run into another situation where we're losing out on money by accidentally selling the leftover grain after the contract is completed.
He's starting another land now, and it looks like he's going to be full before he gets to the end. So we'll see him back up and then cut a space in the crop to his right, so that the tractor has room to pull up and empty. I did the same thing manually when I was doing the other field, but this is showing you how the Courseplay driver does it.
Oh, don't do it. No. My goodness. Can you get out of it? All right, so we want to make sure we don't get any money for this. So now if we look here, it should say we've got sorghum. Yeah, we've got this much sorghum. Oh no, dummy, don't do that. Oh, dummy. What are you doing? Get out of the way, dummy. There you go. Yep. I don't know what you're thinking, but that's not how you unload them. Alright, so we should be able to fit all this in the last, fit this in the hopper for one last trip. Can't imagine we have more than 8,000 liters left here. Right, and at the end of the course, it puts the pipe out and calls the unloader to come. And this is done. So we're only at 94% because we've not been delivering the last couple of loads to the grain mill. We've been storing them on our own because we want to maximize our personal profit on this. Let's see if this dummy can figure out. Oh, nice. Thought for sure he was going to run right into the header again. Excellent. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and tell him to go ahead and take it to the grain mill. because I think we owe more than this. So we'll take that there. Then while he does that, I'm going to go ahead and put the header back on the header trailer and drive up the hill here back to the yard. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to put this, but we shall find a space. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through here. Okay. This might have been a miscalculation. I watched the videos from last time. I think that this terraforming has gotten worse. I don't understand. It's almost like the map got bumpier in between playing sessions. Okay, so where can we park this up? I was hoping I'd have some room over here, but I really don't. Scratch the paint on my new combine. Don't love it, but that's okay for now, I guess. All right, so we're at 96%. Let's go load up another load from the grain, the silo west, whatever. I can never remember the name of this thing. Alright, so we completed the contract. I only sold $52 of extra sorghum. We could take the rest back and dump it off. So I think the only thing left for us to do today is to top up the greenhouses so that we've got some water and we continue to get the lettuce out. So then we also have to collect that that harvesting contract, of course. I do love the trains. I didn't collect this, so let's go and collect that. Alrighty, just like that. I think we're done with August. I did not think when we got up this morning that we would be able to get that combine and do those fields. So excellent progress. Very excited. All right, let's take a look at the finances then. New vehicles, 138,500. That's the combine, the header, and the trailer. I think that's all we purchased today. Vehicle running costs, $3,200. $220 in production costs. $55,802 in bales. So we'll have probably even more than that tomorrow, and the same amount again the day after, and then what we pulled off the field today will probably be ready the month after that. So I think we've got several 5-6 months of this much coming in every day just in silage alone. So that'll be good. 41,500 in wood products and lettuce. What else do we got here? Harvest income 738. That's the sorghum we accidentally sold when we went over on that one contract. Contract income was good, 90,565, offset by 14,000 in wage payments for our AI workers, and then $5,500 in miscellaneous, mostly environmental bonus from the silage. So we end the day with 38,000 in the bank, which is almost identical to what we got in terms of our gain, because we started the day nearly bankrupt with absolutely no money. So that's where we end August. So we're now, first month done in our second year. So we've had our 1 year anniversary, and from here, we'll see where this takes us. Things should start to accelerate. We've got a lot of equipment now, very little stuff that we can't do now that we've got a combine, as long as they don't keep planting vegetables all the time. So, all right, I think that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.